Hello, students. I am going to talk to you today about our first summative. Can you believe it's already time for our first summative? This, of course, is going to be related to our Gasp unit, and the statement of inquiry is a working system depends on the movement and transformation of resources. And of course, the working system, the big global system we've been learning about, is how we have oxygen to breathe on our planet. Just the right amount of oxygen, not too much, not too little. And these cool little creatures called diatoms that are a big part of life on Earth. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of ponder what if. We're going to do a what if kind of scenario. So we should know how the system works. With the African dust blowing across the ocean, landing in the Amazon, which makes the trees grow, and the water goes to the top of the trees, makes the clouds, which crash into the Andes, which erode the dirt. And that dirt is nutrients for the diatoms to build their shells. And now they can make all this oxygen, which goes into our atmosphere. So we have an idea of that global system that brings us oxygen. Now the question is, what if? What if some of these things happen within that global system? Okay, so how might environmental changes impact the systems that maintain a balance of oxygen on Earth? So you get to pick the scenario, all right? The scenarios both have to do with carbon dioxide production in the atmosphere. Scenario number one is, what if global temperatures weaken both air and water currents, making them move more slowly? Okay, this actually happens. So if global temperature goes up, the currents that move water and air across our planet actually move more slowly. How might that impact this whole system? Scenario number two that you could choose from, the hard shells of diatoms, you know those little guys we looked at under the microscope? The hard shells of diatoms may be made weak by the rising acidity of the ocean. So you have two scenarios. Global temperatures going up slows down the movement of currents on our planet. And the second one, hard shells being made weak by acidity. Now, you are going to get to think about what might be happening, and you are going to communicate what you know about how these resources are transported and transformed in order to keep a balance of oxygen on our planet. You get to pick the product you want to demonstrate that you understand this. You can do a comic strip, infographic, poem, or song, or news article, or collage, or visual art. You can do storyboards, children's storybooks, and think, what else might you want to do? It has to be creative. It can't just be an essay, okay? And the second part of your product, so you're going to make something, right? You're going to make something cool for us to look at. It could be, and I don't know why I don't have this on here, it could be some kind of three-dimensional model, all right? But your written reflection is the second part, and this is going to be on a Google document. You're going to describe two examples of a material that moves in the global system that we studied. So what's moving? Two examples of things that are transformed, one chemically, one physically. You're going to explain the chemical reaction of photosynthesis and how it relates to our statement of inquiry. You're going to predict how the global system might be impacted by those two scenarios that you chose. You just pick one, right? And you're going to try to think of a potential solution to that problem caused in the scenario you chose. And then finally, you're going to include two citations on your written reflection, which is in a Google Doc. I have already found the background information for you. Okay, so you do not need to do the research. It's all right here. If you pick scenario one, you're going to use scenario 1's background. I even have the citations for you right here. Okay, scenario number 2, it's all right here. Okay, here are the ways you're going to be assessed. Criterion A, knowing and understanding, a 7-8. I can outline scientific knowledge. I can apply scientific knowledge and understanding to solve problems set in familiar situations, suggest solutions, and interpret information to make scientifically supported judgments. And also, down here, I can summarize how science is applied, describe and summarize implications of using science, use scientific language. This is a big one. Okay, these first two aren't as important in this summative. This is a big one. And for document sources completely, y'all, I already got you the resources. You just have to cut and paste them into your report. Okay? I have this put down here too. I'm just going to skip that for now. This was a lot of information that I just gave you. But overall, you need to be thinking about what is the system on our planet that allows us to have air to breathe? Okay? How are you going to represent that creatively? You're not going to be able to get all the facts in one painting, right? So you're going to somehow represent it creatively, and then you're going to answer some questions on a Google Doc. And together, your creativity and this information are going to come together for you to be able to communicate with me that you understand and can apply this big old statement of inquiry. A working system depends on the movement and transformation of resources. I can't wait to see what you create.